Good morning to all of you. Today we have gathered here for the day 20 of this 4 weeks technology-based entrepreneurship development program focused on bioentrepreneurship, sponsored by Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. So we have conducted the first session by the Yakult Danone India Private Limited. Ms. Sanya has joined with us, and for the virtual industry visit of the company. Now our keynote speaker has joined with us, Mr. Jatin Mishra sir. Jatin Mishra sir will deliver on the funding opportunity and government initiative for the bioentrepreneurs. So we are welcome you, sir, in this TEDP program. So Jatin sir is currently based out of Kanpur, where he is working as a manager Biotech with SIIC IIT Kanpur. Prior to SIIC IIT Kanpur, he worked with the IQVIA, vendor performance material, Ranbaxy, in different roles, starting from the marketing to patents, clinical trials, and also in the field of healthcare analytics. He has an enriched knowledge about the IQVIA data sets, including MIDAS and exponent data. He pursued his bachelor in biotechnology from Amity University, Amity Institute of Biotechnology, Noida, and he was the placement head of the Corporate Resource Center, SAIL. He has also completed various certifications, including the data scientist program from the Simply Learn, and has various expertise like Excel macros, business analytics, SQL, Python visualization tool, ML model, and rapid miner. So we are very grateful to have you as a keynote speaker, sir. So over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Gaurav, and thank you to entire Galvotia family for having me today. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. You can share your presentation. I have made you the co-host.
Let me know if you can see my screen also. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible. Perfect.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, Dr. Gaurav. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Jatin. I'm basically, as Dr. Gaurav told you all, I'm from a bio background, right? Biotech background. So currently I'm working at SIIC IIT Kanpur. So SIIC stands for Startup Incubation Innovation Center. It's the IIT Kanpur Incubation Cell, Incubation Department, right? So a brief about me, as Dr. Gaurav has already told, that I did my BTech from Amity University, Noida, in biotechnology, and then I moved to different companies, including Ranbaxy, IQVIA, into different roles. And then I pursued my MBA also from ISB, Indian School of Business. And then I again moved to industry, and recently, last 2 years, I was working with SIIC IIT Kanpur in different roles. So currently, I'm heading the Biotech, Agritech, and MedTech department of SIIC IIT Kanpur. So a brief about SIIC IIT Kanpur, as you guys know, it's the incubation cell of IIT Kanpur. It's a 23-year-old incubation center of IIT Kanpur. And this year we have been ranked as #1. IIT Kanpur has been ranked #1 under the innovation category by an RF ranking. So it's a 23-year-old incubation center, and currently we have around 180 companies incubated at IIT Kanpur. So we have 2 offices, one at IIT Kanpur and one at our outreach center of IIT Kanpur in Noida, Sector 62, near to your vicinity. So we have around 180 companies residing from the portfolio of biotech, agritech, medtech to cybersecurity, AI, ML, everything, fintech, you name anything, we have the company, including the defense vertical. So currently we have around 35 to 40 programs, government sponsor program that we run. Also, we have several programs under the CSR for startups, which we also run as an incubation cell. So that's a brief about the SIIC IIT Kanpur environment and why we are today. So today we wanted to talk about the funding opportunities and career for a bio entrepreneur. So I hope the crowd is a mixed crowd. There's has to be someone from the bio background, someone from other background. So I will cover it almost like including the biotechnology and everything, life sciences, and also I will talk about some schemes that are available by the government for other students also. So, may I know how many of you, if are from want to pursue entrepreneurship? If any random, yeah. So Vineet has raised his hand. So yeah, I hope a lot of people want to pursue entrepreneurship after you graduate or already have graduated from Galgotia, right? So first of all, if you want to have a company, right? You should have a private limited company. And for opening a private limited company, what are the some of the key steps uh, that are required? So during the session, you can also ask a question also by unmuting yourself, right? So I want it to be a very interactive session, right? I will talk about the schemes, but if you have any questions and how to connect to those schemes, please ask me during the session only, right? So let's start. So if you want to open up startup, right, in today's world, right? So first of all, you have to register a private limited company or a LLP, right? So for registering a private limited company, because most of the incubator in a country accept the private limited company, right? So there are basically 7 steps that you have to complete for opening a private limited company. First of all, you have to get a digital signature certificate, right? That is being used by the director of the company to sign the document. Second, you have to get a director identification number. So this number you can get from the MCA website, right? You have to just submit an online application. So it's a lifelong identification number that a director gets, right? Then you have to get a name for your company, right? So under MCA portal, if you ever open a MCA portal, there is a block where you have to basically search for a unique name for your company. So if you type any company name, if you type Galgotia, so that will be that all will all already be registered by the Galgotia University. So you can't have the same name twice. So for that, you have to come up with a unique name. You have to search on the MCA portal, and if MCA portal accept it, you have to basically get it, get the company name. Then the fourth step is getting the article of association and memorandum of association. So all the companies, private limited companies, should have some director policies or the company policies. So that those documents get signed or get formalized by the two document memorandum of association and the article of association. Then the filing of the company, filing of the incorporation document. So there is a SPICE plus form that is required to file up along with the MOA, that is Memorandum of Association, and Article of Association that you need to uh, get documented along with the declaration by the directors and address proof and PAN. So that documents you have to basically sign, fill up on the MCA portal, and after that you will get a certificate of incorporation by the registrar of the companies. So registrars of the companies will issue you a certificate of incorporation that your company has been now finalized or formally formed, right? And then you will get a PAN and TAN application for your company. You can apply for a PAN number and TAN number for your company. So with these 7 steps, you will be finally a founder of a startup company, registered startup company in India. So it's a very easy step. Most of the terms you might have heard for the first time, like memorandum of association of article of association. It's not very consuming. Also, you can go to MCA website. You will find each step very well defined, and then you can follow the steps and you can get your startup registered. So it also involves some of the cost. So for that cost, you can basically take the help of the UP government, or I will come to that also, but mostly 12,000 to 15,000 money you have to spend to get your company incorporated. So moving on to the next, right? So this is about students who have graduated, or the students who or the faculties that are in the institute, right? They can form the company. But for somebody who is still in the university or pursuing his fourth year or a final semester, what are some of the key grants that are available for him, or how he can taste the entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship. So that I will cover into this one. Let me just remove my Just give me a second, guys. Can you hear me? Hello. Dr. Gaurav, can you confirm? Okay, sure. So if you are a third year student or student at any university, so every university should have a student entrepreneurship policy and a faculty entrepreneurship policy. So if I talk about IIT Kanpur, let's take example of IIT Kanpur. So IIT Kanpur provide a very unique platform for a student, right? So if any student during the 4-year course or 5-year course want to pursue into entrepreneurship, so they provide a year break and they have a student entrepreneurship policy under which the student can take a break and try the entrepreneurship thing also, right? So we have certain guidelines drafted. So if a student want to form a startup, there is a policy where the student has to give 10% of the equity to IIT Kanpur and he can open up a startup. The university will provide all the supports from the incubation to the grant to everything, right, according to his idea. Same goes for the faculty also. So if a faculty has to open a startup, IIT Kanpur is very helpful for them. We have a faculty entrepreneurship policy, right, under which the faculty can open a startup. There has to be some equity share that has to go to IIT Kanpur, but yeah, then again you get incubated at IIT Kanpur incubation cell SIIC, and then you can apply for various grants also, right? So every university in India should have a faculty entrepreneurship policy and a student entrepreneurship policy under which they can go and take the taste of entrepreneurship. So if you are a final year student, right, suppose, and you don't want to go for a placement, then what are some of the key funding schemes you can go and apply? I will cover that into my next slide. So I got a question on the chat box for any student. So I was talking about the IIT students for now. But if you are into Galgotia, so Galgotia, I'm sure, should have a faculty entrepreneurship policy and a student entrepreneurship policy. So you can go and check with Dr. Gaurav. He can brief you about that. So when you open a startup, right? When you open a startup, just give me a second. Right, when you go and open a startup, you got your startup registered also, then you will need the funding to build the prototype, right? So government CSR body has provided funding scheme from various levels, right? If your idea is into pre-ideation also, or if you have a pen paper idea also, then also government provide the grant. To the point, if you want to launch your product, you have already built the product, you have tested the prototype, you have done all the trials, and you just want to launch the product. So then also the government provide you the grant. So government basically cover all the stages of a entrepreneur journey, starting from the pre-ideation to early ideation to prototyping to product development to product launch, including the IP. So you have to plan your journey according to that. We have all the grants available starting from the pre-ideation stage to the product launch stage. So I will cover those grants, but you have to basically plan your journey accordingly. So for students, right, who are into the third year or fourth year, there is a so first of all, we have to understand there are certain funding bodies, right, which provide these grants. So some of them I can name is BIRAC, DBT, Department of Biotechnology of Science and Technology, under which this course is happening. Then we have MSME, right, Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises. So we have these ministries, right, under which they provide different programs under which you can apply and get the grant to start your entrepreneur journey. So first grant, have heard about it or maybe know about it from your colleague. So it's a student innovation advancement of research exploration grant. So under this, BIRAC provide two type of grant. First is BIRAC Srishti Gayati Award, under which BIRAC will support 15 students each year in the field of medical and healthcare a grant of 15 lakh will be provided to each awardee to build his prototype, right? Then the second grant is BIOENTREPRENEURSHIP 60 grant, right? 60 appreciation award, under which BIOENTREPRENEURSHIP will select 100 students all across the country, and they will provide a 1 lakh grant to each student for an year, right? So these two grants are very important for someone, for students, right? Who are into their final semester or into the final year. So if you want to start your entrepreneurial journey, you can apply to these grants and you can get a taste of your entrepreneurial journey. You can see whether you are made for entrepreneurship or not. You can test your skills, you can test your product or test your idea also, right? So like most of students comes to me and come with a very rough idea, so that we want to do this, do that. So my first step to them is, don't start a company right now. First, go and test yourself whether you are made for this journey or not, because it's a very patience taking journey, right? You should have very you should have patience in yourself. It's a very time consuming, time taking journey. So all the time the grant won't be available to you. You have to scout for money, you have to scout for manpower, you have to scout for equipment, consumable. So yeah, these type of grants are to provide you initial support and to test you whether your idea has the caliber to go to the next step or not. Then so the next pre-ideation grant that that Biotech provide is Biotech EUA. So Biotech has allotted some EUA centers, right, all across the countries, which provide this grant. So I know one of the university called Atmita University in Gujarat, which has a Biotech EUA center. So they provide they select a cluster of 5 to 6 students and they provide a fellowship of 50,000 per month, right? And they provide a grant. Beside this, they provide a grant of 5 lakhs per annum for 3 years. For this is for postdoctoral fellows, and for MSc fellows they provide a grant of, if I'm not wrong, is of 30,000 per month, and innovation grant of 2 lakh rupees for 3 years. So this is another scheme that Biotech provides, right, which is very good for the postdoctorate or MSc fellows. And if you are one of them, you should definitely apply for these grant. But these grant can be applied through EUA centers only. So I think in the country right now we have 8 or 9 EUA centers. So you can go to the Biotech website and you can basically search for these EUA center. And if any of you want to get connected to one of them, so I have connections in them and I can get you connected. So these two grant are basically for someone who is still studying, right, is still in the final year or final semester. They can apply for these grants and they can take the taste of the entrepreneurship. Then suppose you are in a final student, right, and you have completed your course, you haven't applied for the placement, and now you want to pursue entrepreneurship. So this is Biotech Spursh scheme. So it's a 18-month program, right, in which we select fellows according to their CV. So you don't have to have an idea for this, applying for this grant. So what you have to do is basically you have to come apply to this grant through your CV. We will Biotech shortlist some of the candidates, and basically Biotech have 9 partners through which these grants get circulated. So IIT Kanpur is also one of them. And we select the fellows. We select 5 fellows each year, depending on the thematic area. So this is a very thematic area program. So IIT Kanpur this year is having maternal and child healthcare as a thematic area. So any innovation, if you have in mind you want to do in maternal and child care, so you can apply to this grant, right? So currently we have 3 fellows in this program. So we are providing them a stipend of 50,000 per month. Beside that, we provide a prototype fund of 5 lakh rupees to build their prototype. So it's an 18-month program. And under this program, Biotech give you 3 months to look for a problem. So you don't need to have a problem already in your mind. So under the clinical immersion, we send you to different places, to different hospitals, and you look out for the problem, and then you build your innovation or your startup according to that. So it's a very good grant, right? Especially for someone who has recently graduated or someone who is into the final semester, will graduate in July or August. It's a very good grant for them to apply to taste the flavor of entrepreneurship. Okay. So this was for someone who is into college or who has already into final semester or who just got recently graduated. Now let's come to some of the grants or the funds available in the government
for early stage ideation. So all these grants that I'm talking about right now is for bio thing, life sciences thing. So till now I haven't covered anything related to electrical, pure electrical, or to pure mechanical. For these grant, you should have some bio component into your idea, right? Then there is a very famous scheme of BIOREC, that is Biotechnology Ignition Grant. Recently, I delivered a lecture also, talk also in Calcutta University about this. So, right. So this grant is basically for faculty or for some early stage entrepreneurs who have tried their entrepreneurship luck for an year or two, right? They can apply for this grant and they will get a fund of up to rupees 50 lakhs for a month, for a period of 18 months, right? But this is not a research grant. So the end product that we want, the end product should have the potential to get commercialized. So the call is still open for this grant, and if you want to apply for BIOREC BIG, IIT Kanpur is one of the partner for it. The call will be open till 16th August. So if you have any idea related to life sciences, you should apply for this grant. And it's a very competitive grant, right? I agree. Each so the call open twice in a year. And in each call, we get around more than 1,000 application, and finally the 50 top people get the grant. But there is no, you should definitely apply for it. You should see whether your idea has the potential or not to get selected among the top 50. And if you get selected for, then you will get a fund of 250 lakh rupees for 18 months. So this grant is very useful for faculties also who wanted to apply, who want to open their own venture, right? Under the faculty entrepreneurship policy, you can take an OC from your institute and you can apply for this grant, right? The only condition in this grant is that the PI, whoever is applying for this grant, should have more than 20% stake in the company. So this is the only thing, because the PI has to be the main person. So if Dr. Gaurav is applying from Calcutta University, then he should have more than 20% equity in the company, so that the fund main decisions should be taken by him regarding this grant. Okay, then we comes to, so suppose you have developed a prototype. From these grant, you have developed a prototype from SPURS, from BIG, you have developed your prototype. Now you want to test your prototype or take it to the commercialization stage. Then DST provide different type of grants, right? So first grant that I will talk about is PRISM. So under PRISM, you get a fund of up to rupees 10 lakh rupees, right, for a year, under which you can basically take your product to the commercialization stage. So this grant is basically to take your product to the commercialization stage. You have already developed the prototype. Now you want to do some modification. You want to do the mass bulking of the product, and you want to launch it into the product. Then PRISM is one of the grant which you can apply for. The second grant is Nidhi Prayas. Okay, so Nidhi Prayas is again a grant where you get the money to build the prototype and to launch the prototype. So the fund again is up to 10 lakh rupees. There is no manpower component you get into this grant. So there will be no stipend, no manpower money you will get into this grant. So if you want to commercialize your product, or if you want to do some clinical trial, clinical testing, then this is one of the good grant under which you can apply. Then we have it's the early stage program. I will again see Nidhi EIR and Tide EIR. So as I was talking mostly for the bio entrepreneurs, so this is again a grant which comprises the entire audience, not only the bio entrepreneurs, right? So if you are a mechanical guy also, or if you are a computer science guy also, you can apply to these two grants, Nidhi EIR and Tide EIR. So under Nidhi EIR, you get a fellowship of 30,000 per month to build your prototype, and Tide EIR also you get a fellowship of 30,000 per month, and you can start your entrepreneurial journey. Then we have a program called BIOREC Seed. Okay, so BIOREC Seed is basically you have launched your product into the market, right? You have done the clinical trial testing, everything you have done, right? And you are getting some initial traction, right? But you want to do, after getting launched into the market, you got some customer feedback that, okay, this should be like that, or you got some feedback about your product. Now you want to take your product to the next level, right? So BIOREC offers a grant, equity-based grant, up to rupees 30 lakhs, right? Which you can apply for launching your product into the market, and it's a 30 lakh equity based fund. So Biotech takes equity in return of providing this money, right? Then we have a grant called SIBRI. So if any of the faculty members has joined this lecture, so they might have heard about the SIBRI grant, right? So it's also like a BIG, right? Biotechnology Ignition Grant, but there is a different different goal of launching this grant. So it's academic plus industrial grant. So you should have a industry partner into this grant if you are academician, and this is not for something like launching the product into the market. So this is for basically encouraging the small business to increase their R&D capability along with getting associated with the academia. So you get a fund of rupees up to 1 crore rupees under the SIBRI grant, right? Then we have a LEAP grant. So okay, so BIG is for 18 months, right? So let me start the journey. So suppose if I am graduated, right, recently graduated, the first grant that I can apply for, I am a biotechnologist, right? So first grant that I can apply for is PERSH for 18 months. Under PERSH, I will build my prototype from TRL 0. So TRL is basically technology readiness level about your product, right? So from TRL 0, I build my product to TRL 2, right? Means I have a prototype, but I haven't tested it, right? It's not been tested in among the crowd. So once PERSH get over, you can apply for BIG. So BIG is taking your product from TRL 2 to TRL 3 till TRL 5 to TRL 6. Means you are ready for doing the trials, or you have tested your product in small crowd, you are ready for mass trials or taking it to the market. Then come the LEAP grant. So LEAP is also a fund that a faculty or a student or a entrepreneur can apply, right? After BIG, if he or she has got the BIG and they have utilized the BIG grant, then if they want to go for commercialization, then they can apply for a LEAP grant. So the fund in LEAP grant, you get up to rupees 1 crore. Any questions or any thoughts that you guys want to share till now? Yep, you can do that. Okay, so I will take it as a no. So before going to the grant challenges, may I know how many of you heard about the UP Startup India portal? Anyone can unmute their mic also and can share their thought. No one wants to share their thought, or you guys haven't heard about the UP Startup portal. Okay, so if you have a startup, right, and from UP, right, and you want to get it, you should get it registered under the UP Startup portal. So there are certain advantages that you get through it. So first of all, the UP government provide you a fellowship of 17,500 rupees per month, right? They provide a prototype fund of up to rupees 40 lakhs. Okay, host has disabled unmute. Gauravji, if you can enable to unmute, I want to interact with the audience. Okay, so if you are registered in Uttar Pradesh, right? So UP government provide you a fellowship of 17,500 per month, right? They provide a prototype fund of up to rupees 5 lakhs per startup, right? Once you develop the prototype, they provide you a fund of rupees 7.5 lakh to launch your product into the market, and they provide you 2 lakh rupees for domestic for filing of a domestic patent, and up to rupees 10 lakh for filing an IP international patent, right? If you want to attend any international conference, you can get it reimbursed up to rupees 50,000. So if you have opened a startup recently, or if you have a startup, go and get yourself registered in the UP government website. These are certain benefits that you can get from UP government, right? To start your entrepreneurial journey, right? And you basically type in Google UP Startup. The first link you will get is of UP Startup portal. And if you have formed a company, right? You should get yourself registered into the UP Startup things. You will get to know about a lot of schemes, lot of grant under this registration. Gaurav ji, have you disabled the unmute thing? Okay, guys, now you can try. I think I was also the co-host. So now you can unmute yourself and ask anything or share your thoughts.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Are
sir.
you able
Am
to
I
unmute
audible?
yourself or still there is a problem?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Just a
Yes.
second, I think there is.
I want to ask a question regarding BIRAC scheme. So my question is, I have applied for EUVA earlier, and this time also I want to apply for BIRAC scheme. So basically, I have a product, but when I went through the requirements for applying BIRAC, it is mentioned that we require 3 to 5 members for applying. Sir, but for that,
Under
I don't have.
EUA, right? Under EUA.
So for BIRAC,
No, BIRAC which
BIRAC
scheme?
EUVA.
BIRAC EUA, right? For BIRAC EUA, you
Yes,
need
sir.
a team of 3 to 5 people. But for BIRAC SPERSH, you don't need a team of any. You don't need a team.
Okay, sir. So, but in that case, if we don't have team members and we want to apply in any of the schemes in which requirement is given of team members, so is there any alternative or
Yeah, so
something? Because
you should contact the EUA center. So they get a lot of such requirements, right? You are not the only one who doesn't have the team, and sometimes they help you in getting the collaboration with different people. So yeah, I think you should contact the EUA center for that.
sir, EUVA centers are given after we get selected. So,
No, you can contact them pre also, right? I know some of the EUA centers which you can contact, right? And they can help you in getting a team.
so we have to get a team for applying.
Yeah. Yep.
And after that, if we are on a big scale, so we have to also give them equity or some amount of share.
To whom?
Sir, our team members
So
provided
startup,
by.
yeah. So startup is not a single founder thing, right? So in a startup, there has to be 3 to 4 people, right? There has to be CEO, there has to be CTO, there has to be CMO, right? So you should give the equity to each and everyone, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions or any other thoughts that you guys want to share? So Gaurav ji, it's a mixed crowd or these are only life sciences students or faculties?
As this is the mixed crowd, sir, but most of participant belongs to biofield.
Okay.
Yes.
So guys, you don't have any questions or faculty members, if you want to ask anything, right, about BIG, about SIBRI or about LEAP, you should, I think, right?
Yes, currently big grant is also going in. The last date is 16th of August, no sir?
Yes.
So-
Last date is
So
16th.
if any faculty member want to, or any participant want to ask anything about the big grant,
Yeah.
you can get approximately 50 lakh rupees.
Yeah, up to 50 lakh rupees, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the development of your idea into a startup, for the product development stage.
Yes.
So please unmute yourself and ask if you have any query. Yes, Beneath.
Sir, I wanted to ask, like, are these grants only for products or they can be for like softwares to like SaaS platforms?
So it should not, the product should not be only hard based. If it's the software product also, then we have TIDE EIR, TIDE MVP grant. So I will cover in this chart, right? So these grants are for those also, not only for the hardware based products.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so till now I have talked about bio thing, life sciences thing. Now I want to talk about the whole scenario, right? What are some of the grants that are available with IIT Kanpur, also available with other incubation center, big incubation centers in the country, right? So let me start with a very recent grant that is launched by the government under the defense sector, right? So you can see the Indian defense system is booming now. So government wants startups also to come from the defense vertical, right? So we have government has recently launched a program called IDEX, where you get a grant of up to rupees 1 crore, right? And there is another program under IDEX called IDEX Open Challenge, where you can get a grant of up to 10 crore rupees if your idea gets selected. So if you have any idea which can help in the country military system or military requirement, you should apply for the IDEX grant, right? Then we have a grant called Tide MVP grant, right? So Tide MVP grant again is a grant for software and hardware based products, right? Both, where you can get a fund of up to rupees 7 lakh rupees. And if you are from any field, it should not be like a constraint that you should have a life science field only. If you are from any field, you can apply for these grants. Then we have a grant called Nidhi SSS, right? So it's a seed support program, right? Up to where we provide a fund up to 25 lakh rupees for a 3-year duration, and under this grant you can develop your product. Then we have I've already covered about Nidhi Prayas, where you get a grant of up to 10 lakh rupees for the duration of 12 months. Then we have a Tide MVP grant, where again it's a software plus hardware based grant, where you get a grant up to 7 lakh rupees, and the program duration is again 12 lakh. Then Tide EIR, which I was talking about, where you get a monthly fellowship about 30,000 per month for a year. So that is Tide 2.0 EIR. Then Nidhi EIR also I talked about, where you get a monthly fellowship about 30,000 per month for a year, right? So both these programs, the entrepreneur can have a software based idea also and hardware based idea also. Then BIG, I've already talked about, and Dr. Gaurav also mentioned that this is a biotechnology ignition grant, where the fund of rupees 50 lakh is available for a duration of 18 months. Birex Seed I have talked about, where a equity based grant of up to rupees 30 lakh is present, and the program duration is 18 to 24 months. Spursh, pre-ideation stage program, where you don't need an idea to apply also. You can apply, and based on your CV, the Biotech committee will select you. And if you get selected, then you get 50,000 per month for a duration of 18 months, right? And during the initial 3 months, Biotech send you, or the IIT Kanpur send you to different hospitals or different places according to the thematic area that you choose, that in which you got selected. And you have to, in those 3 months, you have to basically look for a problem statement on which you want to work on. Then we have a SIIC. So SIIC is basically a new thing that has been launched. So under which you get a grant of up to rupees 20 lakhs for validation of your idea or concept or prototype, and a grant or equity based or a debt of rupees 50 lakhs for taking your idea to the market, right? Then Prisma, I've already talked about, where you get a support of up to rupees 50 lakhs for a duration of 24 months, right? And then there are some programs which are for environment purpose, like Startup Gateway for Garbage Free Cities. So there the top 20 startups will get a fund of rupees 20 lakh. So these are some of the funding programs that will be available with most of the recognized incubator in the country, including IIT Kanpur. So if you go to Sign IIT Bombay, if you go to T-Hub, or you go to IIT Madras Incubation Cell, or you go to, if you go to IKP, or you go to KIT Bhubaneswar. So these grants will be available for you depending on your streams and depending on your idea. These incubation cells, not only IIT Kanpur, all these incubation cells will try to support you, will basically try to help you out depending on your idea. So if you want to start your entrepreneurial journey, I think these many grants are more than sufficient for you to get your career kick-started in this entrepreneurial journey. right? Beside these grants, there are many CSR things also present in the market. So recently, IIT Kanpur has done a CSR activity with Citibank. You guys must have heard about the name of Citibank, where Citibank has given a grant of up to rupees 20 lakhs to 10 biotech startup, medtech startup, 10 agri-tech startup, right? So these grants are these CSR grants are provided by the industries, right? We have grants from Citibank, Entity Data, HDFC Bank. Then there are different policies from rights, different grants from rights, railways. Rights is basically railways. So these grants are available in the market. So if you want to know more about it, if you already have a startup, get yourself registered in the UP Startup portal, or go and visit these incubator sites, which I have mentioned, like IIT Kanpur incubation website. Go to IIT Madras incubation website. You will come to know about these grants, and then you can, it's a simple Google form in most of the cases where you can apply. The committee will call you if they like your idea, and you can kickstart your entrepreneurial journey. Now, so let's talk about some of the grant challenges that are available in the market, right? So recently there is a company called Solution EC, right? This is mainly for students. So guys, if you are interested in taking participation in hackathon and starting your startup, right? So there is a company called Solution EC. I will type in the chat box also. They recently have started a hackathon, right, into the field of healthcare, right, where you can pitch your idea, and they are providing you with a fund of rupees, I think 1 lakh rupees, and then they will help you in getting that idea to the next level, right? So it's a Bangalore based company. They have recently announced the hackathon. Then there are grants that are available from the international bodies also. So Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? So Bill and Melinda Gates runs a program with Social Alpha, right, where they support the agri entrepreneurs, right? So if you have any idea in the field of agriculture, you can apply for this program called IN, Indian Agriculture Network, right? It's run by Social Alpha, and the fund is provided by the Melinda Gates Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, now Melinda Gates Foundation, and they provide you a monthly fellowship of 50,000, right, for a period of 12 months, under which you can develop your idea in the field of agriculture, right? Then we have some international grants from Global Innovation and Technology Alliances. This is mainly for the faculties or for the serial entrepreneurs who have been into the market for 4 to 5 years, right? You can get your 50% of your R&D expenditure reimbursed, right, if you want to develop a new new technology. Then you can under this grant, under this challenge, you can collaborate with multiple countries including Canada, Spain, Israel, and you can get your 50% of the R&D expenditure reimbursed, right? Same way, United States Indian Science and Technology Endowment also provide a fund of up to rupees 2.5 crore, right, for building a new technology or for building a new product, right? But these are very competitive grant, right? And many serial entrepreneurs or many serious academicians apply for these grant, and there are very few of them that are get selected. So for students who have recently graduated from the field of life sciences, I will just give me a second. I will ask you to apply for TIDE grant, TIDE EIR, Nidhi EIR, SPERSH, right? TIDE Hack and Reboot grant. So these 4 grants you can apply, and you can kickstart your entrepreneurial journey. For faculties, you can apply for BIG, you can apply for LEAP, you can apply for SIBRI, right? If you have any idea in the defense, you can apply for IDEX, right? So these are some of the grant or the fund available in the market for you, right? So all you need to do is basically, for students, you don't need to get your startup register, because these are fellowship which I've talked about, right? You should just submit your CV and idea, right, to avail some of these grants. But for faculty, for BIG, you don't need to start your company. right? Once you get the BIG, then you have to open a company. Same goes for LEAP also. For LEAP, you should have a company. So you should have opened a startup, right? And get it registered under the UP Startup Portal. There are many benefits from that, as I've told. So these are certain grants that are available right now, right? Beside that, UP government has been very active nowadays. So recently, we are organizing a hackathon in the field of assistive devices. So last, I think this month only, when I came to Galgotia, there was a guy who was building a device which will detect the fall detection device somebody was building, right? So we are organizing a hackathon where we are calling innovations for the assistive devices, like building hearing aids, wheelchair, mannequins, right? So we are organizing an hackathon for assistive devices where you will get a monthly fellowship of 30,000 rupees, and you will get the incubation at IIT Kanpur, right? And once the program get over, we need to support you with some or other fund. So this is the message for that guy. If he is available in the room, or Dr. Gaurav, you can pass this message to him. So if he is still working on his innovation for fall detection, he can basically contact me, and we are organizing this hackathon in the month of September. I think we will launch it, and he can apply for that hackathon. So yeah, so this is the basic scenario in the country now for right now for bioentrepreneurship and life sciences, right? There are CSR programs, many CSR programs also being conducted, but these are not regular programs. For a year they conducted, and then next year they might have a different thematic area or different category, right? Yeah, this hackathon is open for everyone, right? Any individual can apply for this hackathon. The only condition is that he has to be physically present at IIT Kanpur during 1 year, because we are building a medical device, and it's not a joke, guys, to build a medical device in this country. So yeah, so you have to stay at IIT Kanpur for a year, right? And you have to get your company formed after a year, and that has to be incubated at IIT Kanpur. So yeah, so this hackathon is open for everyone, right? Also, we are organizing a eye hackathon in the month of October. So any student or any faculty has any ideas related to eye problems or eye, they can apply for that hackathon. The prize money has not been yet declared, but yeah, there will be some prize money, and you can start your entrepreneurial journey under that hackathon also. So yeah, so these are some of the grants that are available in the market, right, which you can pursue, and you can start your entrepreneurial journey. Beside this, the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises is also organizing some hackathon. Recently, you might have seen a hackathon on the women empowerment, where they are calling out the women founders, right, to apply for their idea, and if their idea gets selected, they will get a fund of up to rupees 20 lakh. So yeah, so these are some of the programs that are available. Now the forum is open for a discussion, right? If you have any doubt, you want to have any query, starting from how to register a company to how to get these grants, or what are the products that one should focus, I'm open to all these questions. So yeah, please make it more interactive. Ask any doubt you have, whether it's a silly doubt or anything, please, but be open. This is a chance where you can interact, right?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yep.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
It was nice presentation, sir, and you have elaborately explained regarding the different funding agency. I have some doubt regarding something else which is related with this. Like some places, they will just publish the news that for idea presentation, and they will just keep some normal amount and all. So presenting that thing is somewhat problematic for our ideas, or not, sir? Because
Yes.
generally, in your side, it will be incubation center, so it is fine. But I have seen there will be many places, generally they will come with some normal amount of the like 10,000, 5,000 or 15,000 amount, and they will organize, bring the idea from the locality. So how is it really better to going there, or can you please?
No. So if it is not a very famous thing, right? If it is not, like if it is IIT Kanpur, you can present your idea, because before presenting any idea, we sign an NDA with the presenter that this idea will not be used by any one present in the IIT Kanpur premises, right? But if you are talking about any other thing, right, then I think you should file your patent first before presenting your idea to anyone else, because anyone can steal your idea, right? So in today's scenario, 12,000 is the fees of filing a provisional patent application. So I think before presenting your idea to anyone, right, you should get your IP done.
And one more thing, like you are saying the NDA.
Yeah.
So in the NDA, so if suppose you wanted to present anywhere, we will first ask them to do the process of NDA, correct?
Yes. So suppose if you want to apply for BIG, right? BIG grant through IIT Kanpur. So before presenting your idea to us, we get a NDA form signed by you also and by us also, right? So that your idea get safe.
Okay. This is the another question regarding the equity, sir. When we are giving 1% or a different institute have different equity, so while we are providing the equity, means the university or the incubation center will provide us a facility. That's why on the basis of that we are giving equity, or it was just simply for the giving a name under the roof of that?
So, see, sir, if you get incubated somewhere, like if you get incubated at IIT Kanpur, so there has to be equity and revenue share. So there is no written promise done that once you get incubated, we will provide you the fund, right? There is no written promise. But there has never been a case where we have not funded a single company, right? So this is not something like today you sign an incubation agreement, tomorrow I will give you a check, right? It's a time-taking process, but we will try you to get fits in some of or the other scheme that are available at IIT Kanpur or to the CSR project. But we always try to get you some type of fund, right, available. Also, it's not about only fund, right? If you get incubated anywhere, you have to see what they are providing. So some of the incubation center take equity or revenue for providing a space for office space, right? If you think that is useful for you, you can go ahead. Some of the places take equity or revenue share or take a fees also for connecting you to some business mentor or some of the good mentors, which can help your startup to take your idea to the next level. So it's basically your perception, how you see things. So for me, 1 or 2% equity doesn't make any significant change. If you are an early entrepreneur, I think you should give 1 or 2% equity to some of the recognized institution. You will get something in return from this, from those, whether in monetary terms or not in monetary terms.
Mm-hmm. So it is not the matter of equity for percent. Actually, sometimes there are in the market, so many are there, they just wanted to get it, not to help it out. That happens.
There are players, but you have to be very safe from these players. So that's why I mentioned the name of some famous incubation centers. I think you should always approach them, right? To basically safeguard your idea and basically to safeguard your company interest, right?
Thank you very much, sir, for your answer.
Yeah. Any other question or any other suggestions, feedback?
Yeah. May I?
Yeah, please, Anuj, go ahead.
Yeah, as you're mentioning that saving our idea. So how to save that idea? Because I think is it possible to have that ideation stage that we can protect our idea so that it's don't go anywhere else? I
will give you a very simple example. So one of our SPARSH candidates, she was recently graduated from, she has done a BTech into medical technology or something, right? And she came with an idea, right? She came with an idea and she discussed with everyone, right? And she wanted to file an IP, right? Because filing an IP is very important, right? So if you see most of these grants, right, which are present in the market, they provide a IP filing money also. So for SPARSH, under the 5 lakh prototype development, there is a particular component available for filing an IP. Same goes for BIG, right? So if you see BIG fund breakup, you will see manpower, equipment, consumable. Then there is a part called IP. So government also tells you, so if you go and register yourself under UP startup also, there is a fund available of 2 lakh rupees for filing an IP, but most of the people don't take IP very seriously because they think कि मतलब क्या ही हो जाएगा अगर मेरा idea चुरा भी लिया. But I think filing an IP is very important at very initial stage. If you think your idea is one of the million, right, you should go and file the provisional first, pay us fees of rupees 12,000 rupees, file your provisional patent, and then discuss your idea with the masses. Don't do it before that.
Okay, masses means even this incubator
No,
centers.
with famous incubators which are recognized in the market, you can go and discuss your idea, because every day we get 100 of ideas, right? There is no danger with these incubators. But if you suppose you are going with your investor's friend, right, or you are going out with your colleagues, right, from college or from somewhere, and you pitched your idea, right, and they can copy it, right, and if they have copied it, then you can't tell someone that okay, this was initially your idea. So you have to basically see the crowd in which you are interacting. So suppose if I'm giving a speech or giving a talk somewhere in the government, then I will use my terms accordingly, right? I will not use any term. So in the same way, you have to see where you are pitching your idea. So if you are pitching your idea in front of some investors, right, and you haven't get your IP filled, so then there is a risk, right?
Yeah, so my other question is that do we need to have any institutional affiliation for to apply for these kind of grants or?
Sorry, please come again. I'm sorry, I get you.
So is it mandatory to have any institutional affiliation, or if we have passed out and we want to go it on our own without any institutional affiliation?
No. So for BIG, for Nidhi, so what government has done, they have provided these funds to certain incubators. Like IIT Kanpur is one of the incubator, right? So you have to pitch your idea to the incubator, to us, right? And then there is a committee built for every program. They will hear out your idea and they will select you. So in a way, you are directly pitching to funding agency only, but through IIT Kanpur.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, I got a question from Dr. Ganesh. Hi, sir. How can I get government funding for startup in India? Sir, you apply for from any incubator, right? Government incubator or top private incubator, and I think they will support your idea. Any other questions or any other feedback, please provide.
So, if you have any query, please unmute yourself, because this is very informative session, and take the opportunity. Any query?
Sir,
Yes.
like there are 17 SDGs in UN SDG. So similarly, are there any problem statements which are currently like more focused upon in biotechnology field, in which we can think of solutions right now?
So government is looking for some of us assistive devices like hearing aids, if you can build in India, right? Because right now all the hearing aids that the children get are basically built. Good hearing aids are from outside India, building from outside India, mainly from Austria, right? So I don't know whether you know that or not. So if any deaf child, right, want to get a hearing aid, right, then one hearing aid cost around 9 lakh rupees, right, good quality, and LMCO organization subsidize it, and it provide one piece in 2 lakh rupees. So suppose you want for both years, so you have to still spend 4 lakh rupees for building a hearing aid, for getting a hearing aid. So you can think about a child who can't hear from his birth, since his birth. So it's a very costly affair. So if you have any innovation in assistive devices, right, please come forward, right? Government will support you.
Okay, sir. And sir, where do we find out about these hackathons which are happening?
Go to any incubator site. Come to IIT Kanpur incubation site. You will get information. Just you have to do Google research.
Okay, sir.
If
Thank you.
you all are already in LinkedIn, get connected with all the incubator. Send them follow request on LinkedIn. You will get all the information.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. The session was very exhaustive as well as informative. So I think participants got several knowledge on the funding opportunity. They have learned about that, and I have also learned several new funding opportunity from you. So we are very thankful, sir, that you have accepted our invitation. Any other query? Or we should proceed with the session? Participant, if you have any query.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have one more question.
Okay.
So at present, I have a product idea basically, which is done on a small scale. And for the same, I have pitched to one famous and renowned incubation center, and they showed interest in it. So if today on that their base, so if I consider it today and accept their proposal on small scale production and bring my startup to a large scale. But if tomorrow, if my company is doing good in the market and they are asking for selling my product under their trade name, or they are asking for more equity, and some other incubation center, they are providing me with more facilities. So are there any chances?
Shagun, right? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can ping me the incubator name first of all privately, right? Then only I can come to know the entire scenario. So suppose if you, so what happens in this business? Once you get incubated somewhere, they will take you some equity share or revenue share, right? Depending on your idea, depending on the valuation you have, right? But once your product get commercialized, they can't ask you for more equity, or they can't ask you to sell your product under their trade name. That is not a thing that in this business happen, right? So incubation basically provide you help, right? They can't charge you additionally beside the equity or revenue that they have taken in additionally. But yeah, if incubator is providing you some of its own fund, then yeah, then definitely they can charge.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, related to it, if I want or need more guidance, can I just pin you up
Sure.
all these?
Yep. Anytime.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
So yeah, thank you everyone. If you don't have any questions, I think I'm done for today, right? So stay in touch, right? My number is in the chat box. Ping me at any time. I will try to help you guys in any possible way, whether it's about entrepreneurship or whether it's about anything related in life science environment, right? I've been in touch with the industry also. I've worked with some of the top players, right? Ranbaxy, IQVIA. So yeah, if you need any help in the life science stream, right, you can contact me anytime. And thank you, Dr. Gaurav, for having me today, right? It was really nice interacting with the audience. And yeah, all the best to everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. So kindly accept the guest of honor, the e-memento, as a gratitude from our side.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm logging out. Thank you.
So, dear participant, I have posted the feedback form in the chat box. So all are requested to kindly fill out the feedback form, and I am very thankful to you all that you have made this event very successful. So be prepared for your feedback for the tomorrow session, because tomorrow we do not have any speaker. You will be the speaker itself. So be prepared for the feedback. Your feedback is very important for us. And wishing you all the success ahead. So tomorrow we will also announce the winner of the PPR presentation, as well as the best interactive participant names in the valedictory session. In the closing ceremony, we will issue a separate certificate for them. And so your active participation as well as the interactive participation is highly appreciated. So do not forget to prepare your feedback, what you are thinking about this workshop, this 4-week technology-based entrepreneurship development program, what you have learned from this event. So this all you can talk in your first session. So we will gather on tomorrow on 10 a.m. and we will start from your feedback session. So thank you so much. If you have any query, you can ask to me. So tomorrow will be the last date of this program. So I will also, yes, Anuj. You can also give me the name.
I have to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for this workshop, because it's so interesting.
Thank you. So we are waiting for your feedback. What you are thinking about this workshop, how it is conducted, how was the speaker, how was the organizer. So we are expecting that you should provide your feedback tomorrow. Thank you so much.